got it. Okay, with us, the squash ball, just start with a little massage of your hands. So last week, was it maybe last Tuesday we did handwork, Gilda? I'm looking at you. Thursday? We don't know. It was sometime, possibly last week, but we don't know. We don't know. Thursday? Not Thursday. Okay, so we're definitively not Thursday. Thanks. Okay, maybe last Tuesday. We did some hand work, and what can be really helpful for hand arthritis, if anybody has it, I do, is bringing in a little bit more circulation to the hands. So just doing this in itself, even if you didn't do anything else, this in itself is going to bring a little bit more circulation to the hands, to the fingers, the parts of the body, that are farthest away from the heart. So fingertips and toes, do you notice they get kind of the coldest? Yeah. So the more hand work we do, we get more circulation in there. Footwork, same thing, can also be helpful. Okay, so already, just take that squash ball down, give a little shake. And for those of us who have things going on with the hands or the wrist, we might already feel like, oh, there's something that's happened here. Yes, we're going to increase that. So Carolyn online, if you don't have the squash ball, you're going to use your highlighter pen. We're using the squash balls. I'm going to place them between first finger and the next, which I believe is the middle finger. Yeah. And then squeeze these two fingers together. So you're going to take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you squeeze the fingers towards each other. Now, the squeeze is not 100%. We're just doing a little squeeze. And the interesting thing for us to know, for those of us who have shoulder issues as well, is there's a fascial line that goes all the way up from the fingers up here to the side of the neck. You might even feel it as you're doing this. The other thing when we go between these two fingers is it activates the bicep. So it's pretty cool, the musculature we can connect with. All right, next one. Middle and ring. They sometimes don't know what they're doing, but we're going to ask them to try their very, very best to squeeze together. And if they really don't know how to do that, you can assist them and it'll just help open up those neural pathways. And as we're doing this, what you might notice is you feel it back here a little bit more. If you don't, yeah, you can. If you don't worry, it is happening. It is activating those muscles in the back of the shoulder a bit. Good. And then last one, baby finger, ring finger, and ring finger, we squeeze in. So grip strength, as you know, is very important. If you've ever lost grip strength or it's decreased, you definitely know how important it is, 'cause trying to get your jam jar open. But it's also actually an indicator of cardiovascular health, grip strength. So things like this can be really helpful. Okay, now you've done at least 3. That, yeah? Okay, bring it down. Shake out your hands, and I'd like you to compare grip strength essentially between your right and your left hand. Here's how you're going to do it. If you don't comfortably put your body weight on your palms, what you're going to do is just bring your weight forward a little bit, spread the fingers, and then have a feeling like you can kind of tug. Does this make sense? Like the mat towards you? That's our Hasta Bandha. If on hands and knees, you're okay bringing your hands down, you can do that. And then come back into some cat-cow curls. I just don't want you to put weight on your wrists if you don't normally. Yeah. So just to compare. And what we might be able to notice is there's a bit more of a connection all the way up through the shoulder, actually, after we do this. Yeah. Good. Okay. And then come back. Could you feel a little different side to side? Other side, we're going to start first with that massage. And why? Because we're tense enough, generally. So it can be helpful just to give us a little massage to remind ourselves that not everything needs to start with clenching. Okay. And then we'll go into the other side. So I'm on my left side, first finger in middle, and squeezing together. So a minimum of 3, maximum of 10. And we're doing it on the exhale. And you might be able to feel or notice, oh yeah, this goes into the bicep here, or in the front of the shoulder. And we're not squeezing to our maximum. If you know what your maximum is, if you're already there, go to about 70%. Yeah. And then come on to the next one. So middle and ring. And sometimes it needs some help, so you can just help them out a little bit. Great. So if you're getting any of the pain, as many of us get through the center of the wrist or in the fingers themselves, that achiness, this can be helpful to bring in that circulation. And then let's go into the last one. Any of us who are typing a lot in the day or heavy mouse users, computer mouse, not, yeah, the live ones, yeah. These can also be helpful. Good. Okay. That's at least three, isn't it? So bring it down, give it a little bit of a shake out, and then let's come back to assessing our grip strength with the hands either in front of us, trying to tug the mat towards us, or those of us who are okay on hands and knees, we can go back to hands and knees and try out some cat cow curls. If you're feeling really peppy, you can even try a little downward facing dog and notice how it feels. You don't have to, though. Good. Yeah, take another breath or two there. Is that feeling okay for those of us who are having wrist and hand stuff so far? It's not increasing any of that pain? All right, I've got a little more for you for this. Next, I'm going to take our ball, and this could be a bigger one. So, Carolyn, online, you can use your bigger ball. I'm going to work with specific wrist strength, getting into the forearm. So you're going to hold the ball into the hand, just lightly grip it. So not a squeeze, just lightly grip. And then try just from the wrist to curl the wrist in a little bit. And then just from the wrist to extend. You can also hold your arm to do this. So curling in and curling out. And what you might notice, so all of the muscles that move the fingers, they actually originate in the forearm. So when we strengthen the forearm, it can also help our hand health. So about 3 to 5. And then we pause, we turn it down. We're going to do the same thing. So we start from sort of a level place, but opposite. We lift up and then we roll back down. If this is sort of an ongoing thing for you, the wrist stuff, you can also progress. Can you see this okay, Caroline? So I'm starting with it neutral and then I'm coming up and down. You can also progress to a 1 pound or 3 pound weight as well, but I wouldn't recommend starting with the weight. Good. And then just bring it down, give it a little bit of a shake, roll the shoulders up, back and down. And come on to your other side. So we're just holding something in the hand. It's not a strong grip. Starting from a neutral place and just curling in and curling back. About 3 to 5. Yeah. So it just gets us right into the forearm. Good. Did we do this last week, Gilda? No? Okay. And then turn it down. Pretty much neutral. We come up and down. Good. Mary, is this feeling okay on the sore side? Okay, good. About 1 or 2 more. Good. Marie, this is okay on this side? Yeah. Okay. And then go ahead, bring it down and shake it all out. Okay. Now, the final thing we'll do for our hands, and Gilda's been practicing this, so we want to do it, is our twiddle fingers. So fingers come together to touch. And we start with the thumbs and we just twiddle them around in one direction and the other. Marianne, have you done this one with me before? Excellent. Okay, great. Marianne's been practicing on her own. And then you can go in the other direction. Good. Scott, you're quite fast. Yeah. Okay, bring your thumbs together. Here's where it gets tricky. The next ones, which are the pointer fingers. Yeah, you've got it, Mary. You're going to roll them around in one direction and then the other. Lynn's on fire. That is so good. Yes. Let's highlight. Yes, absolutely. And then in the other direction. Lynn, have you been practicing this? Yeah, she's been practicing this because she's a weaver. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, and then bring those first fingers together. You know where we're going next. The middle fingers, they often have an identity crisis. They don't know who they are. We're going to give our very, very best go. Marie, that's awesome. And then in the other direction. Now, sometimes it gets very serious when we do this. So let's just remind ourselves to breathe. If forced, we could smile for a brief moment. Good. Okay, and then bring them together. Nudge the ring fingers and go ahead with the ring fingers. Yeah, if they haven't done this before, they might not quite know how to do this yet. But this is truly, truly practice. My mom, who comes to classes, she was in the previous class with me. She's been doing this with me for 15, almost 16 years. Because Lynn, she used to just have my baby on her lap when I taught at the extended care hospital, and we would do twiddle fingers together. And then I would go and teach high school students, bring the ring fingers together, go to the baby. And the high school students couldn't do it. So it's truly, truly practice. It is hard, yeah. And you probably know when we do things like this, it's really helpful for left right brain connection as well. And even though we're just doing things with the hands, this actually translates to balance as well whenever we're doing right left brain stuff. Yeah, Jim, you got it. Yes. Good. Oh, nice, Mary. Okay, shake it out. Okay, let that be done. If that was your first time, this is not your last time doing that. Give it a good little shake.